Regeneration isn't just a key aspect of the Doctor, but it's for the show itself. Since 1963, the show has found ways to reinvent itself, creating jumping on points for new fans to access. Now, I haven't been watching since 1963. However, since 2005, there have been a few quote-unquote reboot seasons, and we're going to rank them based on how good they are as a reboot and their quality. This includes Series 1, Series 5, Series 10, Series 11, and Series 1 3.0, I guess you could call it. We're the overall nerds, and this list might surprise you in certain ways, but make sure to leave your thoughts below on my ranking and comment your own list so we can discuss more Doctor Who. Series 10. I need to make this clear. I love Series 10. Love it. It's a series that got me back into Who properly after I sort of lost interest during Series 8 and 9, and don't kill me over that. I eventually grew to love one of those seasons more. Series 10 possibly has the greatest TARDIS team of all time, plus the stories are at least enjoyable. However, judging it as a reboot season, I'm gonna put it last. I just find it to be such an odd decision to make your last series as showrunner a mini reboot, calling episode 1 the pilot. A clever double meaning, sure, but this rebirth is so short-lived. I don't know if I could really advise someone to jump on at this season, mostly because of how good it is. They get attached to this cast of characters just to never see them again. Maybe it's just me, but that feels a little jarring when compared to a Series 1, where at least you have Rose and recurring characters. Series 5, you've got 11 and the Ponds, and Series 11 with a whole established new cast. Looking at what the series does, it does feel fresh. The episodes mostly stand alone in the lore of the series, apart from the Empress of Mars and the finale. Additionally, the mystery box of Who's in the Box is very light on engagement, which new audiences might like. However, with the answer being Missy, I do feel like audiences miss out on a little something. Again, I love this series. Quality-wise, it's goated for me, but as a reboot, I'll make the controversial choice of putting it last. I am interested though, if you even see Series 10 as a reboot season. I mean, it did come back after extended time away, and even though Capaldi is back in his full glory, this season in ways feels separate to Series 8 and 9, maybe as a result of no Clara. Comment below if you feel it counts, or if any other revival season should be in here that isn't. Series 11. Series 11 introduced us into the Chibnall era, a perfect era that gained not a bit of controversy or negative fan backlash based on stupid reasons. Comparing it to Series 10, you have a new Doctor, new companions, new setting, new music, and a new banging intro, plus an overall new look and feel. To give Series 11 its credit, it's a real reboot, nothing attaching it to its past other than a blue box and a time traveller with a fan. The ideas behind the season were exciting too, all new villains, slightly longer episodes, and we got our first female Doctor. Looking back at this season, there were definitely pros and cons to those choices. If there ever was a jumping on point, it was now. No real homework needed. Not exactly cutting out existing viewers, but potentially feeling a little alien to them. Reboots had to find that balance of the old and new, not too old to make it feel pointless, but not too new that it feels like something completely different. And after watching the series twice, I see Series 11 as pushing it a little too far into the new. And I know Series 11 has its fans and brought in new people to the show, which is brilliant, and all your opinions are valid. But for me, this is the worst series quality-wise on the list. In ways Series 10 does sabotage 11, it's hard not to compare. Going from Bill and Nardole to Yaz, Ryan and Graham, yeah, I'm sorry Chief, it ain't doing it for me. The stories also feel quite dull or bland, sometimes down to the story itself or the dialogue that plagues it, with scenes occasionally feeling like a drag. This is my overall issue with Series 11. There's nothing outrageously bad, but there's not really any clear high points either. It lacks a spark, and for a reboot season, which should be brimming with creativity and ideas, I didn't feel any of them. Robots and rags. Chibnall, for your second episode? Big spiders and a Trump wannabe. That finale. This feels like a showrunner on his last season who ran out of ideas, rather than their grand introduction. If someone asked me when to jump on, I would honestly struggle to say Series 11. However, even with my views on it, I can't deny the good it did for bringing in new fans, which is what a reboot season should do, so it gets second last. But do you think I'm being a little too harsh on this season? What's your views on it, when analysing its quality and its merit as a reboot season? Series 1, 3.0/14. Here comes the mouse, and here comes the second coming of Russell T Davies. Famous for rebooting the series in 2005, can he recapture reboot magic again? Well, I guess. I mean a little. Let's start off with it being called Series 1 in the first place. As a fan, I hate it. Restarting the numbering system when your last season was only a couple years ago just looks silly. But from the viewpoint of this new partnership with Disney, I understand how hard it would be to market itself to new audiences as Series 14 when you don't even have Series 1 to 13 on your platform. It also helps push home this idea of a new era, which is what Series 1 3.0 is. Now this era has plenty for new fans to enjoy. Ncuti is amazing as the 15th Doctor. Together with Ruby Sunday, we have a lovely new TARDIS team that is full of chemistry. The series feels big. New big TARDIS, new big locations, new big villains, new big partnership with Disney. But is this new big lossy season enough? The series sometimes fails to explore these new characters like prior seasons have, and the mystery coursing through it ends up being underdeveloped and a little disappointing. On the surface, the series is fine and will probably pull in your casual audience, but will they stay? We literally don't have those answers yet. But the reason there is such gloom hanging over the season at the moment is it's so hard not to compare it to RTD's first revival series. It's hard not to compare the level of care put into the character of Rose in comparison to Ruby. Hard not to compare the structure of episodes, the overarching themes and stories. Maybe that's unfair, but this is a list, and even judged purely on its own, Series 1 3.0 feels very safe. It feels perfectly fine. It's enjoyable, 100%. Some scenes are incredible. The variety of episodes I really admire and hope continues into Series 2 or Series 15. But just like Series 11, it can feel very hollow. Series 1. Looking at our last two, it was really hard to pick who's king, but when we get to number 1, I'll explain my reasoning a bit more, and you can decide if I've gone fully mad or not. Series 1 is where it all began. Again, after a cancellation, interest from Steven Spielberg and Michael Jackson, a failed American reboot with the brilliant Paul McGann, this is what really did it. 2005, Christopher Eccleston, Billie Piper, and Russell T Davies.
Do you want to come with me?
There was a real wonder of if this could work. Was Doctor Who always destined to be this old sci-fi show, slowly getting lost to time? But what Season 1 did was inject the franchise with a new energy that served us to the present day. The edginess added to this Doctor made him addictive to watch for new and old audiences members. The mystery of the Time War is brilliant. It allowed us to dig a little deeper into who this Doctor is. Have they lost themselves in this mysterious war? Pairing them with Rose, brilliant, youthful and hopeful. Just what this Doctor needs, hope. Together they're fantastic. The kitchen sink drama Russ T Davies brings that makes the characters easier to attach to, relate to, because we know people like this in our lives. So when they're put in danger, we truly care. The episodes are bangers most of the time. The aliens follow suit. The reintegration of the Daleks is masterful. The Autons are horrifying. The gas mask child, I mean, come on. There's so much good to say. Maybe you can see the regenerations a little early, but you can also make the argument it makes this series the perfect crash course of Doctor Who. Maybe this should have been number 1, but instead, I give it to you, my beloved Series 5.
When Doctor Who returns in 2010,
It won't be with me.
Tennant is gone. The most popular Doctor is gone. Their acclaimed showrunner is gone. This is where you crumble. This is where we all expect you to muck it up. We know Doctor Who works now. We have expectations that have to be met. Impossible expectations. Series 1 was perfect for new audiences. How could you possibly attract a new audience and show the old that this is a show still worth watching?
Hello. I'm the Doctor.
I love Rose as a pilot, but the 11th hour, damn. Not only does it immediately sell you on the Doctor, but it sells you on Amy, the new showrunner, the new music, the show's ability to leave you in awe. Is a perfect first episode for me. However, you can't rely on one episode. You gotta give us a great new season, and Series 5 is basically perfect. It comes with such renewed energy that showcases a writer full of new ideas. It has stories that really test its characters, like Amy's choice and the beast below. It has scenes that will have you cheering and crying all the same. It's an amazing feat to put it all off. Matt Smith obviously helps. The madman in the boxes, it was feel familiar yet new, which I believe was key in that transition from 10 to 11, proven by the future resistance to 12. The stories are all of such high quality, with barely any duds. I'm personally not a fan of the Dalek story, but they were overdone by that point. Also, the mystery of the crack is brilliant. It's so unnerving, scary. The thought of being lost to time, being erased. The threat is brilliant. The more subtle teasers to Series 6 are also appreciated. I find it hard to find many flaws in this season, and as a reboot, it really helped Doctor Who in the States, which is also something. But that's my list. One I really struggled with. I'm really curious on your thoughts, but also if you even think all the seasons here are valid, specifically Series 10. But also, should Series 2 and 8 count? Does a new Doctor always signify a new start? I don't believe so, but let me know if you agree in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed watching some of that. If you did, leave us a like and subscribe for more Doctor Who vids, as there will always be more. Thanks for watching. We've been Overall Nerds, and peace.